I do remember controversial speakers coming, and this wasn't the result of
right.
it. But I don't think that this is. I don't think that these are liberals who are causing this.
My question is sort of a who's playing who
Right.
one. Like are these right-wing speakers and groups and anarchists, whatever, using Berkeley as the ultimate platform?
I am sure, someone is talking to Vince Vaughn about starring in the new comedy, The Protest Crashers.
Right.
Where Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, and John Favreau play a group of disgruntled white Americans who lost their jobs and decide to go fuck shit up at a liberal protest. A literal laugh riot.
Oh, my God. Genius.
Hollywood, you know where to reach.
Yeah, right here at the Gaylord.
That's the sequel.
Right here at the Gaylord?
It's a prison film.
For our loyal listeners who don't know, we do broadcast out of
the historic Gaylord Apartments.
The historic Gaylord apartment building here in
on Wilshire in beautiful Koreatown, Los Angeles.
Which just goes to Carl's ability to overcome any homophobia. It's like, where are you moving, Carl? Oh, the Gaylord.
Okay. He did live in Boys Town, or Boys Town adjacent when he lived in Chicago. So
Okay.
Little Carl Kozlowski trivia for you kids. Who knew? Bonus on today's show.
From Boys Town to Gaylord. That'll be his autobiography.
So how about that runoff election, guys?
The election leading to the runoff in Georgia, yes.
Coming on up. June something.
Coming up in June, but if you are not familiar with the bigger story at hand, Tom Price, who Trump named to be his ineffectual Secretary of Health and Human Services.
That's his full title, right?
Yes.
Ineffectual, yeah. It's implied
Titular
anyway.
also works.
They like at least the first part.
Sure.
Anyway, so Tom Price left his Senate seat, and there was an election. And dark horse Democrat candidate John Ossoff got 48.5%, not the 50% he needed to take the seat, but enough to lead to a runoff in June, which Republicans are saying big deal. There was a field of, 11 Republican challengers for the seat. But if you look at the polling numbers,
it's unbelievable
for the different candidates, and for just looking at the Republicans, where they stand on the Trump spectrum, there was really no love for any of them. The one candidate that did win the place in the runoff with 17%.
I mean, to go up against that many people in a state that red.
Yeah, I mean, the seat, as far as I know, has never been held by a Democrat.
Yeah.
Last person I can think of to go up against so many Republicans and do so well is a man named Donald Trump.
This is true. He is the last. He's really sort of the last of our Democratic. In a way, he used to be a big Democrat.
Yeah, well, he used to be.
That's the worst part about the whole thing is that guilty as charged that he was a Democrat. So his son-in-law is a Democrat, as his father, the same father who hired a prostitute to go after his brother-in-law. So really sleazy Democrats.
Yeah.
And then
Wiener Democrat.
Oh, both Eric Trump and Ivanka Trump were registered as Democrats, and that's why they didn't change their registration in time to vote for their own dad in the primary.
Oh my God!
Ugh. But I think we can say they're Republicans
now. Do you think that was really
yes.
it, though, or was on some level where they're like, this is just another one of his projects?
Yeah.
Right. Yoy.
This is
going to
be
Trump
like the
doesn't own
stakes.
Projects. That was his dad's thing.
That's really funny. Sorry, I didn't mean to pull us away from the John Ossoff discussion.
Yeah.
No. It's...
Well, I mean, anyway, it is exciting, and I think the guy has a shot at it, and I think that in the last couple of weeks, some things have happened that really are showing that, the base, our base, is really there,
Well, So would we all agree, at least on some level, that this election was a referendum on Trump?
Oh, sure.
Much like the
like
election in Kansas, was it last week, 2 weeks ago?
Same thing, yeah.
Which the Republicans narrowly squeaked out a win there.
Yeah. I think that we really have a shot at 2018. I mean, God help me for saying that in a recorded environment. But yeah, I mean, people are out in the streets right now doing this march, you know. I mean, it's happening, and I think that people are really have been shocked into, as we're saying these days, wokeness by the fact that, you know, government really is the people, you know, and we really do have to do everything we can. We own it, you know, and we have to run it. And otherwise, the hucksters will just take it away, steal it all, and wreck it all, and hurt us all. So
right here in River City,
it's right here in River City. So it's a powerful moment, and I think that I think it's a genuine thing. So this Ossoff, even though, you know, he has to go into the runoff election and he didn't win it, what he did was historically remarkable, and totally a referendum on Trump. I want to know, like, you know, I would be interested to know, like, there's all these never-Trumpers who are starting to turn, you know. There's the Trump regretters who were sort of early on, you know. But, like, I just don't think the numbers are going to be there, you know. I think it's just he's so bad for all of those poor red state people.
I think most of them, though, will defend him for 4 years. I think most people, because they didn't vote for him based on any logical basis,
right?
Except maybe some who are maybe pulling a Hail Mary of like, well, maybe he will bring the coal mining jobs back or something. But for the most part, it's how he made them feel, and as long as he can keep making them feel that way, even though their lives continue to suck way worse than they did as they were improving under Obama.
But with better marketing.
Yeah, but you know their thing is the healthcare bill. I mean, he's still banging that drum. I mean, even though nobody in his party wants it at this point because it's kryptonite.
Well,
I mean,
and the latest Republican additions to the proposed bill to make it, finger quotes definitely implied here, palatable, is allowing states to remove essential care.
Yeah.
So basically, they are considering letting the states hollow out the bill so it really is only a healthcare bill in name, or so that you are paying a premium to insurance companies every month. So you can go to a doctor who can do no more for you than say, "Ooh, that looks painful."
Do you want a Band-Aid?
No, Band-Aids cost extra. That's essential care.
That's true. That's essential care.
You don't pay for that. You know, you're just paying for the privilege.
But this is what I'm saying. I mean, that is a real world, affects millions and millions of people. And then none of those people will vote for these candidates. I mean, that's you know. That's the bottom line, you know. That's why healthcare is such an important issue politically. I mean, it's saving us in a way. I think it's sort of like a fail-safe because, you know, it translates into lost votes. If people lose their healthcare, they like what they have right now. They want it to be better. And I think what's interesting too is how like universal healthcare or whatever, single payer healthcare is suddenly coming out as sort of the reasonable middle ground. You know, it could get traction just because we're so, you know, divided, or we're at such a stuck place on the ACA.
It could, but yesterday, Surgeon General Vivek Murthy was fired by the Trump administration a little early. Usually, Surgeon Generals serve a 4-year term, and if you remember, they usually do, and his appointment was held up by Republicans in Congress who had an issue with the fact that he believes that gun control is a health issue, which makes sense. So,
can I just throw this out? Because a lot of people don't realize this. If you are shot in the head, your chances of survival, it's like it affects your health.
Yeah,
they're saying this. It's not just me.
They find that bullets in your body are extremely bad for your health.
Four out of 5 dentists
say
among people with bullet wounds.
Yeah.
Bullet wounds are one of the leading causes of their deaths.
Yes.
Just throw that out there. Sorry to be
typical propaganda.
Sorry to be radical.
They're mostly heart attacks.
Yeah.
Provoked by
the sound of
sudden
guns firing.
Yeah. But so Vivek Murthy came into office saying that gun control is a health issue. And not too long ago, he really started a new initiative to combat opioid addiction and addiction in general. So he got his walking papers.
Yeah, Big Pharma don't like that.
Not so much. And oddly enough, as the Trump administration is trying to shepherd through a horrible, hopefully soon-to-be failed healthcare plan. So is the timing coincidental? Are we going to see, because the temporary replacement has been the Deputy Surgeon General. She is not a doctor. She's a nurse, so props to nurses who for years have been saying that they can do anything doctors can do but backwards and in heels. Or that's something else.
No,
but Ginger Rogers, right. It fits. But so Rear Admiral Sylvia Trent Adams, and such a shame that it is mere weeks after Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and our new Surgeon General is a Rear Admiral. The timing could have been so perfect.
Well done.
Trump really needs to work on his timing. That's one of the big issues. But is it merely a coincidence of timing, or should we be prepared for the Trump administration to pitch a yes man on shitty health control to be our Surgeon General?
Should he? You're saying?
No, will he?
Oh, will he?
Like, is this what we should expect?
Yeah,
I mean,
of course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know that anything in this administration is exactly by design. It seems like everything is a bumbling kind of accident of timing. But nevertheless, I'm sure that he will enlist.
It's chaos theory in action.
It is.
I would imagine he might appoint somebody who has no medical experience whatsoever. I'd just like to point out I was reading
Is
about...
Dr. Pepper available?
Yeah. I don't want to have to resort to Mr. Pibb. But
not even a doctor.
Yeah, the selective service. He appointed somebody to run the selective service who is the first person to run the selective service who has zero military experience. And the reason that's important is that
they know how to avoid the draft.
Yeah, right. You're trying to get somebody who's trustworthy to the average 18-year-old who's going to run the draft if we have to go to a draft fairly. And instead of
what do you get, Dane Cook?
He got a guy who is a Washington State former assembly member who had a lot of lawsuits against him. The only thing he has going for him is that he was one of the very first to come out in support of Donald Trump.
Oh, wow.
That's it. So, yeah, I would expect somebody who maybe is a doctor who had their medical license revoked. Maybe they did some illegal surgeries.
Well, there's the 2 doctors who are up on charges for performing female genital mutilation on their victims. There's
they're free.
The doctor who was pulled off the United flight.
Yes.
He was a convicted drug pusher, lost his license for a couple of years.
I think there might have been a confusion over two Asian doctors with very similar names.
Oh, was it?
I saw that, but then I even saw a reversal of that saying it may have actually been the same
him. Okay,
guy.
okay. Well, in any case.
He's also considering a guy who just watched a lot of MASH for the job. So
big fan.
Sorry.
It's a wartime doctor.
You need somebody when the copters are coming in.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of Cannonball Run. When Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise get Jack Elam, the doctor, to go with their ambulance. Like Jack Elam is going to be... What was his character's name? It was like a Frankenstein type pun. It was but yeah, he's going to be the new Surgeon General.
So funny.
I've been That's
What
my
about Vince
friend's
Neil?
Facebook
He was
avatar.
on a real estate or a reality show, and he sang about Dr. Feelgood. Maybe he